Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my rating climb. I'm not climbing anything, but we are together moving up the rating ladder and analysing games played by people in 100-point rating bands. From yesterday's one, I started doing it slightly differently. Instead of looking at 3 different games and 3 different victims, I'm selecting one victim at random from my Facebook friends, not my Facebook friends, my chess.com friends. Pick someone in that range and find their latest rapid game. Today's victim is Lukey43. Well done, Lukey. Rated 924, playing a game against Emmanuel Marfo at 974, so 50-point rating difference there. And the dog is determined to sit on me, even though she's soaking wet. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to go through the game. I'm actually going to hide the moves. We're not looking at the eval. Should I switch the eval off as well? Switch off the eval and the lines and everything. We're just going to go through the game. So I'm going to say what I would play. Obviously I'd play e4. That's correct move. So well done. You win, Lukey. And we have d5. So I'm going to say what I would play in this situation and why. And from that, maybe we'll see the difference between a 1500 thinking and a 900 thinking. Make sense? So if you're rated around 900, this might be useful. Okay, oops. So, right, I mean, okay, this is the Scandinavian, and this is normal. This is normal mainline Scandi. I play d4 here and go into the Blackmar Gambit, but this is fine. Okay, queen takes. Now, you can bring out either knight here. I know. I mean, most people will play knight c3 because it comes with tempo. And then there's a few moves. Queen a5 is common. Queen d8 is common. You can bring the queen back to here. There's a variety of things that people play. We get knight c3 and the queen goes back home. Okay, this has been seen in a million games, I bet. Electrolytes. Very nice. I've just been on a very long dog walk and done some exercises on the bay. I like pick up rocks and over my head and stuff. So I've actually cancelled my gym membership, and instead, because I was leaving the dog in the van for 45 minutes while I went and lifted heavy stuff and did stretches, and I thought, that's a bit stupid, isn't it? Because she gets distressed because she's half Bichon Frise, and they like it. You know, they get upset when you leave them alone. And so I thought, well, why don't I just find heavy things in the world to lift instead of going for the gym? And I save myself whatever many pounds a month. Okay, so d4. Yeah, I mean, d4 perfectly good, right? We're claiming some space. 2 squares in your opponent's half of the board with a pawn. Also freeing up this dark squared bishop. Also actually giving our queen a little bit more scope. So I'd probably have played the same. Okay, so we have bishop f5. So you say, well, what's changed? Okay, so the bishop's out, it's looking at this. Is it defended? It is. No worries. So, now an interesting move is bishop d3 here. In general, like all other things being equal, you will generally want to develop your kingside minor pieces in preference to your queenside minor pieces. It's not a rule, but the point is that you only have to move 2 pieces in order to get ready to castle. We saw in like a lot of the previous videos in this series a real hesitancy to castle, or lack of priority to castle, which is a big mistake. So bishop d3, it looks a bit weird. Now if they take, we take, and they've just spent 2 moves developing that bishop, right? 1 and then 2, and it's gone. Right? And if you visualize the board at the end of that, we've got a queen here, and this guy doesn't exist. So we've got 2 pieces out on the board, and he's got none. Okay? Now you might say, well, wait a minute, Hunty, but aren't we hanging this pawn? Well, yes, we are. But his bishop hangs. Right? So if we go here and queen takes on d4, we get the bishop. Queen goes here, attacking the bishop. Bishop goes here, though, defended by the knight. That's possible. But I don't think a sub 1000 is going to find that move, not even saying it's the best move. So to me, I think knight f3 looks great because it's developing a knight. It's controlling 2 squares in the centre, one of which holds one of our pawns. I think that's probably what we're going to see. Knight f3, perfectly good. No complaints. Well done. Okay, we have knight f6 by black. Black is a little behind in terms of castling. Okay, for me, for my money, still bishop d3, but I think more likely bishop c4. Reason is that king is likely to be short castling and is likely to be heading therefore for g8. So we want to put our bishop on this diagonal. Well, we don't have to, but it's a good thing if you've got your bishop lined up with your opponent's king. That would put this pawn right here in a pin if our bishop is there and the king's there. So that's quite good. Somebody asked me yesterday, I'm so thirsty, how do you highlight the squares and draw arrows? Well, you right click to highlight a square, you hold option buttons down to change the colour. There's even green, which is a bit odd, but it depends on your board colour. That's with a shift key. I don't have that on every account. And you right click and drag to draw an arrow. And it will only draw arrows for legal moves. No, it won't. It will draw those. And again, you can change the colour of arrows as well. So, quite good fun. Anyway, back to the game. What's changed with the knight moving out? Well, he's controlling two squares in the centre. He's probably preparing to castle. He's a bit slow with this bishop. So yeah, I'm thinking bishop here. Bishop here is also a thing. I wouldn't necessarily put this bishop here, and the reason is because I don't think the action's going to be this side. Oops, this side of the board. All right, I think the king's going this way. Now, bringing out your bishop to g5, yeah, you know, you're threatening to mess up the king side, which is the point. Right? Attacking the queen side is like, there's no one in the queen side. Well, I mean, there's these guys. Oh! Oh! It finds it, Precious. It finds it. It finds the move. Actually, now that this pawn's defended, there is no queen takes d4 anyway. So, what are we going to see? Are we going to see a trade? That would benefit white. Yes, indeed. Right, white is now better. We have the move e6 from black, which is pretty obvious because he wants to get his bishop out, and I bet it wants to go there. Could he have played e5? Not really, because we've got two attackers. We could, yeah, just even knight takes. Yeah, I would have hung it on e5, so that's not even a thing. Castles by white, absolutely. Why not? Sorry, I forgot to say what move I played, but castles is great. Oh, bishop d6. Curious. Right, I'm thinking bishop g5. Main reason, we complete development and connect the rooks. Good show. Okay. Other reason, it's a pin on the knight. Right, so the knight can't move because the queen's behind it. So what's he going to do? Is he going to push a pawn to try and dislodge you? Then you've got the option to come back from there and even kind of spin around. If it takes, maybe h takes, something like that. That ain't bad. This would be weakening slightly. That's what I'd play. Correct. Aha ha ha! h6. Now we have a couple of choices. I think retreats. You don't want to trade here, because if you trade, the queen's just coming out. And that ain't the end of the world, because you've got like knight e4 with a fork on the queen and the bishop, but the bishop's defended by a pawn. You don't really want to be taking that right now. I go bishop h4. Oh no, he takes. Okay, and now rook ae1. Not a bad idea. I mean, it's a semi-open file. And now I think, you know, knight in would be a good idea, but it's not our go, unfortunately. Okay, right. One slight weakness is this pawn. So I'll tell you what I'm drawn to. I would be almost automatically moving my knight with the idea of playing c3. And the reason is, we then get a pawn chain on the dark squares, right? That means we're controlling all of these squares. What's black got? He's got a dark squared bishop. So we want to inconvenience that bishop, right? Also, the knight is controlling this and this and this, right? So here's the tip. When your opponent's only got a bishop of one colour and you've got knights, try and get them in a centralised position, so inside the middle six. Try that again. inside the middle 16, where they can control their maximum 8 squares, but on the opposite colour to the bishop, right? So these squares, you know, anything like round here, great. And the reason is they're on a light square, so the bishop can't ever touch them, but they're looking at dark squares. So they're looking at all the squares where that bishop might land. Yeah, so you want to get this guy off of a dark square. So this, I think, is great now. It's in the centre, that's the centre, right? And this is the... It's not the epicenter, is it? Whatever is almost the centre. There must be a word for that. If not, we need one. Yeah, those ones anyway. So you want your knight in the centre, that's the move. And then c3. Good. He has to move the queen. Okay, I wouldn't take the bishop here. And the reason is we've got the option of this, and both our knights are on light squares. That bishop is not very strong. Yes, you have to take care that you're guarding h2, right? But that isn't necessarily a bad thing. You know, is the potential risk of an attack on h2 worse or greater than our control? I think our control is better. I think that bishop's got only one potential avenue of usefulness, and we can cover that. You know? So, okay, I play c3 here. Yeah, I don't know about c4. I mean, what's the idea? You want to bust open the centre, you want to push d5, takes. Maybe. I'd have just pushed c3 there. Okay, have knight d7. And if we were to trade this knight for this bishop, they take back. It's an even position. We've got a good rook here. Maybe that. Or maybe this now, actually. c5 straight away. Is that... Yes, we're creating a backwards pawn in the form of d4. But it's not like it's undefended or friendless. Maybe c5. c5, where's that bloody bishop going to go, right? It's got to go here. And then you hit me, baby, one more time. And he can't go there, and he can't go there, and he can't go there. Which means he's got to go... Hang on, so c5 bishop here. Hit me, baby. He goes there. We take, and he has to take with a pawn. Nice. And this guy's only used 7 minutes. Emmanuel, wide boy here, has used 52 seconds of his clock. And let's have a look at the... No, I'm not looking at the thing. No. I don't know how to do it. I don't want to switch analysis on. Okay, but anyway, so he's done this. And he gives up his bishop! Hang on. In 5 seconds thought, he gives up his bishop. Right. Do we take with the pawn? Do we take with the knight? I would suggest pawn so that we can rebuild. Yeah, because this guy's currently isolated, right? He's got no buddies on the c file or the e file to defend him. Therefore, although it's moving away from the centre, he's moving into the opponent's half. I would take the pawn. He takes with the knight. Fairy stuff. Okay, we have a tradeage. Obvs. Right, now you want to be defending this because, right, that's currently under attack, but it's black to move. And so, hang on. Yeah, the same thing could have happened the other way around. You're right. You're fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, so we're up a knight, but it's for a couple of pawns. Black has an extra pawn on the queen side and an extra pawn on the king side. So we've seen what white plays here. He plays knight e5, which is good. Couple of reasons. It's in the centre, right? And it's in the opponent's half of the board, which is a good thing. Right, so this knight just became quite strong, and we're looking at a knight fork on here. Right, so if black's asleep, he's not asleep. All right then. And you might be tempted to go in with a knight here, but then he just moves the rook, and the knight's pinned and double attacked. So that would be foolish. I'm actually thinking. So yeah, I had this in a lesson recently. Guy says I get to the middle game, and I just don't know what to do, and that's really, really common. From the point that people are aware there is a middle game, you know, and start to learn or understand their openings a little bit. So the key is to look at which of your pieces are doing the least work. You want to control the board, right? Now, currently this rook's not bad. This is a semi-open file because it's got pawn of one colour on it. This rook is pathetic. It can't even move. So if anything's going to happen, you've got to move this rook. Or the f-pawn. But wait, what are you going to do? You could play f5? Are you? Really? Maybe? So I think maybe stick the rooks on c1 and d1. That's my thought. He plays f4, which is okay. But you saw what happened with the pawns here. I was suggesting to just build a little thingy, and he decided to push right up. Oh, what was it? Yeah, I wanted a dark squared pawn chain, and he pushed c4, and then we've had some trade-offs, and white's kind of not much better really. Anyway, so f4, it's a bold move with the pawn. Emmanuel's still using no time at all. Yeah, okay, rook ad8. Now notice these two pawns are undefended. This one's defended by the queen. He's made a play for the open file, which we get. So one of these moves would attack one of these pawns. Maybe it's this. Maybe it's this. That could still maybe control the king. Okay, queen e3 is fine. He sees the threat, he moves it. Okay, I wouldn't have played rook f3. So I'm getting ahead of myself, but okay. I mean, maybe this to attack this pawn. But also contest the open file. Stick a rook on there. Dare him to take you. You take me, I'll replace it with my rook. Nobody, in that situation when you've got rooks facing off in an open file, generally nobody really wants to be the one to take. But rook f3? What's he is he thinking of lifting the rook and bringing him over here? With this kind of idea. Capture on h6 and with this pawn pinned. I bet you that's what he's thinking. And it's not... Oh! Right. Okay. I know what I'm going to play. This is a little rash, as Nursey would say. Right. Whenever a pawn moves, you look at what is it undefended. It's undefended this. So that pawn's now undefended, and it was defended on the previous turn, but more than that, he's undefended this square. Why do we care about that square? We can stuff a horse into it. Brilliant, well done. And we're going to win some material. And we win some material. Okay. Now, we are much better. But we are down to 3.5 minutes. I like the way that Luki is using his time, however. Now, Queen d3, I think, would be a good move here. I think that's what I would play. And then maybe just chuck the pawn up. Queen d3 is defended by this rook, right? And you're saying, that, see that open file? That's mine, that is. This isn't bad. So I think his plan is f5, maybe take there with checkmate. Okay, so attacking a2, do we care? Yeah, you've just hung a2. It's one of those things where, is there any reason not to play b3 here? I think I'd play b3 or a3. Just save the pawn. Oh, but he trades. This is not good. This rook is I'm slightly nervous about. I want a rook on the second rank, just to making sure that all my pawns are defended, because we've still got a job to do. We've got an extra rook. We've got 2 extra pawns to clear up. Okay. Right, get this rook down here. Right now. Okay, he sticks his rook there. What are you going to do? The king's defending this one, but who's defending b2? You're going to do this. Check. Okay, king f2 is forced. King f3 or g3. Well, that gives up a pawn. And you're blocking your own rook. No, you're defending your pawns. All you have to do is just not lose all your pawns. There's one. Okay, we get one back. Fair enough. There's 2. And now he's got 2 completely passed pawns. This is a bit on the sloppy side, Lukey. Okay, king goes there. This... Where do we go on the offensive? He should be... I mean, he could. He actually has got time to try and get the king like behind these pawns. No, I don't think going for the... Just my gut says stop these fellas at all cost. Don't go after the king. What are you doing on that side? It's all going on over here. This is the danger. Like, at this point in the game, when you were up a full rook, right? Just about. And now you're up a rook, but for 3 pawns. What is the only way black can win here? The only way black can win is with these 2 connected passed pawns. Stop them. You know, like in Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, when the Uruk is running towards the thing with the flaming torch, he's going to blow up the thing, and Aragorn says, "Legolas, kill him, kill him." That's this. That's what's going on here. Stop it. Use your rooks. Thank you. Right, now what you really want to do is this, but you can't. Now the problem is that he pushes that, and it's going to come with a check. So I think king d2. Okay. Okay. Rook h3. If he pushes this pawn, you can take it. Yeah, and then we lose our rook. That's not good. I think maybe just that. Okay, king. That seems okay. Right, king c3. You're gonna have to give up more pawns. Okay, well now we simply trade rooks. Pawn takes, happy days, we win the game. Okay, he's down to 8 seconds. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough, and he loses by... That sucks. I'm sorry, Lukey, that is unfortunate. Because Lukey played the better chess there. And the clock worked against him. But, let's just have a quick look at the analysis. 9-2-4, I mean, that was a reasonable game. I'd put it over 1,000, you know, I guess. So let's have a quick look. 78.3 and 79 from Emmanuel. Wow. 1450, both of them. Wow. That is a bit of a surprise. Lukey played excellently in the opening and the middle game, and as he ran out of time, it all went a bit scrappy-doo. But he was completely winning, right? And until this point. Here, if we just go on to this, it's going to say rook takes b4. Rook takes b4, and it's just completely, it's all over. Yeah, few kind of dubious moves with the rooks in the middle, but quite honestly, you know, just looking at the graph, you know, at this point this was our most winningest. The rook, and you know, a little bit sloppiness, but slightly sloppy. I mean, black should not have taken the queens off the board there. I'm thinking, oops. Okay, let's have another look at this. Surely Queen. Oh! Not queen takes a2. Well, I stand corrected. Oh! I tell you why. Gets checkmated, doesn't he? Oh yeah, fair enough. Better move than I didn't notice that. So well done. That was a good move. Came with a checkmate threat. I didn't even see that. I was just looking at the oh look, queen's tension. Yeah, but damn good game, Lukey. You know, Emmanuel did not play as well as you. Machine thought he did. But what does the machine know? Very, very interesting. And very good. You know, some good chess there. You know, we're getting to the point now where we can just sit and enjoy a chess game without going, where's the next blunder coming from? I can't look. Hiding behind the sofa stuff. But yeah, well, no, well done, mate. Well done. My chimpanzee friend, by the look of your profile picture. Yeah, and unfortunate not to get the win there, because you definitely deserve to win that game. Absolutely. So there you go. Hope that's handy for you guys. Please let me know what you think in the comments. Otherwise, I'm going to keep doing it anyway. Thanks for watching. See you later.